I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, October the 21st, brought to you in part by the International Brangus Breeders Association. Have you sacrificed growth in your herd for carcass improvement? Brangus genetics add pounds and improve yield grade without sacrificing marbling and quality grade in your cattle. Build with Brangus to build your bottom line. For more information or to find a breeder near you, visit gobrangus.com. We've kindly got some hope here. Middle of the week, we've stopped the bleeding on the cash fat cattle, which is the first thing we needed to do. And it actually spurred the board there later in the midweek there after it was trying to tank on Wednesday again and keep going down some more with these traders and funds were pushing it down, but had no choice to spurt back up on Thursday. Live cattle futures for December. Wednesday was down 210. Thursday was up the $3 limit along with October. And Thursday's December ended at $100.12, with October ending the day on Thursday at $99.02, which is real close to what the cash is going to be. Feeder cattle, a November contract, Wednesday was down $3.20, but then Thursday up $4.02 just on that cash fat cattle trade. With October, or the November contract closing at Thursday at $118.85. Your spot October ended Thursday at $121.75. Cash fat cattle, really that fed cattle exchange was the first time that it's really come into play. They had a big run this week, 13,000. That's 3 times more than they've been having even on a big week. But it come out there on Wednesday morning and they traded some higher there, buck higher or maybe more in some places. But it spurred the cash on a little bit, and then we had some direct trade selling on a negotiated basis, steady to a buck higher, mostly at 99, 98, but with some sales up to 99 because that weighted average is up there a ways. Did have some northern sales live at 97, but the dress trade up north mostly is all at 154, which is a strong steady there. Slaughter this week is looking pretty good so far through Thursday, 455,000, which is 1,000 more than last week and 13,000 more than the same week a year ago. You look at the market and it feels like we've hit some firmness here, and I've been saying that we were going to hit it somewhere in the mid-90s, not just trying to be right because I don't get any kind of a bonus or medal for being right, but I was thinking somewhere in the mid-90s. And we're feeling some firmness right in here. I'm not saying it's not going to back off here in the next week or two. Talked to a lot of people in the business this week, and most everybody's thinking that we've dropped these fats just about enough and it's time to go up. But some people still fearful, and talked to one guy who has a relative that's way up in one of the major packers, and of course he thinks it's going to 70. But you would figure that. But it seems like we've got some firmness now. Our market-ready supplies have tightened up just a little bit. We've having these big kills, and despite all the pressure we're getting from all these hogs that they're slaughtering right now, it seems like we're getting close in here to some firmness and maybe a bottom to this market. You look at some cash feeder cattle auctions. El Reno, Oklahoma had 6,700 on Wednesday there. Feeders there. This was before we got all the jolt on Wednesday, and the feeders are still steady to $2 lower, and calves mostly $4 to $7 lower. Some firmness on some long weaned calves with a lot of quality. Your CME feeder cattle index sitting on Thursday at 199.97. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central has been running lower than that. Of course, the CME index has been chasing it all along, with real-time index a full day ahead of that at 117.06. But the key thing is it gained 31 cents on Thursday, which says that a lot of those Thursday sales were stronger than they had been earlier in the week, and we're starting to see a lot of that through some of these sales. You look at Cattle Market Central's market report out of Salina, Kansas. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock had their feeder steers steady to $2 higher, and a big push on the heifers with some of those, most all those feeder heifers selling from $7 to $9 higher. Not a big test on calves that far south. Most of your big calf runs are north of I-70 up in Nebraska and in the Dakotas. Pratt, Kansas on Thursday, they're selling their feeders, both steers and heifers, $3 to $5 higher. But check out DV Auction for some production sales still going on this fall if you need to find some breeding stock. And that's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.